Adding a custom structural profile to your content center is something that's actually fairly easy to do. It does have a couple of extra steps to it, but in most cases I think where you're going to find that creating the geometry is going to be the hardest part of the operation. Once you have the profile created that you want to turn into a structural shape for the content center, it's very simple. Now you're just going to extrude this shape between two work planes that you're going to create. These two work planes are going to be created off of the XY plane. So we're going to do that right now. In the 3D Model tab, we're going to create a plane from XY and drag it off in one direction at a random distance. It doesn't matter what the distance is at this point. And we'll create another one and drag it in the other direction. Again, the distance doesn't matter. We'll set those in a little bit. Now we're going to extrude the shape. We'll grab the profile. And we're going to extrude it from this sketch plane to this sketch plane. So you're actually extruding it from wherever the base plane is to between these two planes. So let's go ahead and hit OK to accept the profile. And now we have to make sure that there are several parameters created on this part that have to be in place on all structural shapes. I've already created these. So we're going to take a look at those. You need to make sure that your part has B_L, G_offset_start, and G_offset_end. Those three parameters must be present. And then what we're going to do is we're going to modify the dimensions of the two work planes. So let's do edit dimension on the first one. This is going to be our start plane, so we're going to modify this to be minus, and then let's grab the arrow and list parameters, and we want to make that a negative G offset start. We'll accept that. And then the second work plane is going to be our end plane. Let's edit the dimension on that. And we need to make that, let's list parameters again, B_L plus G offset end. So we'll list parameters again, G offset end. And that's all we need to do for this part of it. So now that is going to force the structural shape to grow between whatever the distance is from your start plane to your end plane, and those will be determined by your frame generator program. So now you're ready to do the authoring itself. Let's go to the Manage tab, grab the Structural Authoring tool, and the category I'm going to select Other because this is obviously not one of these standard beams. And it's automatically going to see the base extrusion, and unless you got some really strange geometry going on, it's pretty easy for it to find the base extrusion. The default base point, it's going to grab the origin point, so that's pretty self-intuitive too. It's really not difficult to do this. The only other thing that we need to select is the notch profile, which is an optional selection, and this is what will be used for creating notches and cuts and coping in Frame Generator. So for the notch profile, let's just select the base sketch. If you can grab it. Okay, now that we have that base sketch selected, you'll notice it does not allow us to publish or say OK at this point. There's one more step we have to do. We need to map the base length to that B_L property. So we're going to come in here, go to Parameters, User, and grab B_L, map that to the base length, and now you see your OK and your Publish Now are all lit up. So let's go ahead and hit Publish Now. And we're going to select our custom library. I will leave it in the other folder since this is kind of a unique shape. Base length is already mapped to B_L. If you have any of this other information and you want to track it on your parts, this is where you would map those parameters at this point. I don't have any of that for this example, so I'm just going to say next. Let's use the part number. You could easily use the material as your key columns, whichever you would prefer to choose. Let's use part number for this one. And you'll notice this is very much like publishing anything else that we've already demonstrated. So I'm going to copy and paste the name into the family description, hit next, check my profile image, everything looks okay, and this is now published. Completed successfully. So this frame profile is now ready to use with Frame Generator, or it can be placed manually from the Content Center to be used in your assemblies.